Saudi Aramco, question and answer. Question: why must both the issuer and the receiver sign a permit to extend, renew, it? A. To be sure they both understand and agree to the conditions. B. To prevent problems during accident investigations. C. To be polite with each other on the job. D. To make sure their certificate have not expired. Answer: A. To be sure they both understand and agree to the conditions. Question: what must the issuer use during a joint site inspection, JSI? A. Nothing. B. An observation checklist. C. A hazard analysis checklist. D. An excavation checklist. Answer: C. A hazard analysis checklist. Question: a cold work permit is issued in a restricted area, but the receiver discovers he needs to use a drill. What should he do? A. Stop all work in the area. B. Notify the issuer and write drill in the equipment section of the permit. C. Do not use the drill until he received a hot work permit. Answer: C. Do not use the drill until he received a hot work permit. Question: what is a reason for purging? A. Remove non-hazardous materials. B. Clean the line of sludge buildup. C. Remove residual hazardous materials. Answer: C. Remove residual hazardous materials. Question: when would a receiver need both a hot work and confined space entry permit? A. Working near steam lines. B. Grinding in storage tank. C. Excavation with a backhoe. D. Driving into a restricted area. Answer: B. Grinding in storage tank. Question: welding in a 6 feet excavation, welding in a tank, would which work permits to be issued? A. Release and confined space entry. B. Hot work and confined space entry. C. Cold work and confined space entry. D. Hot, clod and confined space entry. Answer: B. Hot work and confined space entry. Question: in what order is a hydrocarbon vessel prepared for an EO pound? A. Gas test, drain, clean, isolate, ventilate, purge. B. Gas test, isolate, drain, purge, clean, ventilate. C. Drain, isolate, purge, clean, ventilate, gas test. Answer: C. Drain, isolate, purge, clean, ventilate, gas test. Question: in what one way can an issuer inform the workers about hazards in the work site? A. Assign a fire watch. B. Use portable radio. C. Install warning signs. D. Tell the gas tester. Answer: C. Install warning signs. Question: what is a responsibility of a fire watch? A. Operate fire equipment. B. Monitor the confined space entrance. C. Perform gas tests. Answer: A. Operate fire equipment. Question: what is required for welding on a hydrocarbon line? A. Gas test, drain, Clean, isolate, purge. B. Gas test, isolate, drain, purge. Clean, C. Drain, isolate, purge, clean, gas test. Answer: C. Drain, isolate, purge, clean, gas test. Question: why does an issuer ensure that all energy sources have been properly locked out and tagged and de-energized? A. Prevent financial loss of product and power. B. To protect receivers from injury. C. Prevent unexpected exposure to hazardous gases. Answer: C. Prevent unexpected exposure to hazardous gases. Question: going into 10 feet deep valve box to tighten a bolt with hand tools requires which type of work permit? A. Hot work and confined space entry. B. Hot work, cold work and release. C. Release and confined space entry. D. Confined space and cold work. Answer: D. Confined space and cold work. Question: what are two responsibilities of a fire watch? A. Paint fire extinguisher and pressure test fire hoses. B. Operate fire equipment and monitor ignition sources. C. Visit the site during hot work and relieve the receiver. D. Light welding torches and inspect hot tap machines. Answer: B. Operate fire equipment and monitor ignition sources. Question: which of the following requires a confined space entry permit? A. The initial opening of a line containing hydrogen sulfide, HS. B. Painting inside an office building. C. Sour water lift station. Answer: C. Sour water lift station. Question: why don't we park vehicles close to the edge of an excavation? A. Toxic gases can fill the excavation. B. The noise can exceed 85 dB. C. The weight could cause a cave-in. Answer: C. The weight could cause a cave-in. Question: a fire watch does not know how to operate a fire extinguisher. What should the issuer do? A. Replace him with a trained fire watch. B. Instruct him on how to use a fire extinguisher. C. Ensure at least one person at the worksite knows how to use a fire extinguisher. Answer: A. Replace him with a trained fire watch. Question: why must saws be covered within 75 feet before issuing a hot work permit? A. To prevent firewater from draining away. B. To protect workers who enter the saw. C. Flammable gas may be present in the saw. D. To keep ignition sources inside the saw. Answer: C. Flammable gas may be present in the saw. Question: what is the safest material for purging? A. Oxygen. B. Hydrogen sulfide. C. Nitrogen. D. Carbon dioxide, CO2. Answer: C. Nitrogen. Question: an entry permit requires a standby man at the manway for confined space entry, but a qualified standby man is not available. What must the receiver do? A. Enter the space and send someone for another man. B. Enter the space, but explain when he closed the permit. C. Do not sign the permit until a qualified standby man is assigned, and explain why to the issuer. D. Sign the permit. This requirement is not needed. Answer. C. Do not sign the permit until a qualified standby man is assigned, and explain why to the issuer. Question. What is the main difference between hot and cold work permit? A. There is no difference between the two types of work permit. B. Hot work permit are with release permits. C. Cold work permit are not to be used if there are ignition sources. D. Cold work permits allow confined space entry. Answer. C. Cold work permit are not to be used if there are ignition sources. Question. Who must remain at the work site area for 30 minutes after hot work is complete? A. Fire watch. B. Standby man. C. Receiver. D. Issuers. Answer. A. Fire watch. Question. What should the issuer consider before signing a confined space entry permit? A. Gas testing, removal of blinds, and a fire watch. B. Gas purging, removal of blinds, and gas testing. C. Isolation, ventilation, gas testing and lighting. D. Use of safety belts, warning signs, and hold tags. Answer. C. Isolation, ventilation, gas testing and lighting. Question. What must the fire watch do? A. Monitor the LEL concentration off the air. B. Sign to close the permit after work is complete. C. Remain in the area for 30 minutes after work is complete. Answer. C. Remain in the area for 30 minutes after work is complete. Question. A receiver has an EO pound permit and a clod work permit to loosen a flange, and then discovers he needs to heat the bolts with a torch. What should he do? A. Cancel the permit. B. Written in torch in the equipment used section of the work permit. C. Get a hot work permit before using the torch. Answer. C. Get a hot work permit before using the torch. Question. What is consideration for an EO pound permit? A. Release of flammable and toxic gas, wind direction. B. Isolate fuel source. Eliminate ignition sources. C. Slip, trip and fall hazards. Answer. A. Release of flammable and toxic gas, wind direction. Question. Which of the following is an example of a confined space, of hazardous work? A. Working in a tank. B. Welding on a pipeline. C. Carpentry work in an office. D. Unloading materials. Answer. A. Working in a tank. Question. Why should heavy equipment be kept away from the edge of an excavation? A. Toxic gases can fill the excavation. B. The noise can exceed 85 dB. C. The weight could cause a sidewall collapse. Answer. C. The weight could cause a sidewall collapse. Question. Why is spray painting in a confined space more hazardous than spray painting in an open area? A. You can get paint in your eyes more easily. B. Flammable vapors can build up to explosive levels. C. High temperatures can prevent the paint from drying. Answer: B. Flammable vapors can build up to explosive levels. Question: Who is responsible for safety at the work site? A. Issuer only. B. Receiver only. C. Standby man only. D. Issuer and receiver. Answer: D. Issuer and receiver. Question: Who must sign the work permit to allow firemen to fight a fire at the work site? A. Division head. B. Issuer. C. Incident commander. D. No one. A permit is not needed. Answer: D. No one. A permit is not needed. Question: Who must sign an extended duration permit? A. No one. Extend duration permits are not allowed. B. Issuer. C. Receiver only. D. Issuer and receiver division heads. Answer: D. Issuer and receiver division heads. Question: Why are both the issuer and receiver required to go on joint site inspection, JSI? A. To check firewatch and standby men's certifications. B. So they both clearly understand the scope of work. C. To verify all workers have valid identification cards. D. So the receiver can put the men to work earlier. Answer: B. So they both clearly understand the scope of work. Question: When are worksite hazards identified by the issuer and receiver? A. During a joint site inspection. B. Before leaving the control room. C. After the permit has been issued. D. After the permit has been closed. Answer: A. During a joint site inspection. Question: What is a requirement for a standby man? A. Perform gas tests. B. Monitor possible ignition sources. C. Monitor the work. D. Take permit. Answer: C. Monitor the work. Question: What is the issuer's main responsibility? A. Provide plant safety orientation to receivers. B. Train all receivers to receive permit. C. Check receiver certificate and ID card. D. Identify hazards and define precautions. Answer: D. Identify hazards and define precautions. Question: What must the issuer do before the receiver signs the permit? A. Require all sources to be covered and purged. B. Check the hazard identification plan approval. C. Require all workers to wear cartridge respirator. D. Make sure the receiver understands all precaution. Answer: D. Make sure the receiver understands all precaution. Question: What must the issuer use during a joint site inspection? A. An excavation checklist. B. Nothing. C. A hazard analysis checklist. D. An observation checklist. Answer: C. A hazard analysis checklist. Question: What responsibility do issuers and receivers share when signing the work permit? A. Getting countersignatures from superintendents. B. Monitoring the operation of process equipment. C. Maintaining safety conditions at the site. D. Responding to emergency events. Answer: C. Maintaining safety conditions at the site. Question: Why is the receiver required to sign the work permit and agree to all precautions? A. To ensure the work is done on time. B. To prevent unsafe condition. C. To document the work starting time. Answer: B. To prevent unsafe condition. Question: What three things must the issuer do when issuing a work permit? A. Show his certificate, read the GI 2.100 and sign. B. Read GI 2.100, operate heavy equipment and sign. C. Read GI 2.100, sign and explain the scope of work. D. Fill the form, explain safety precaution and sign. Answer: D. Fill the form, explain safety precaution and sign. Question: Who is responsible for reading incidents in the workplace? A. Issuer. B. Receiver. C. Issuer and receiver. D. Everyone. Answer: D. Everyone. Question: What does the issuer agree to when signing a work permit? A. To the safety precautions on the work permit. B. That fire extinguishers are required. C. To stay at the site during hot work. D. To visit the site every 2 hours. Answer: A. To the safety precautions on the work permit. Question: Who obtains all countersignatures for the permit? A. Issuer. B. Receiver. C. Issuer and receiver. D. Standby man. Answer: A. Issuer. Question: What three things must the receiver do when issuing a work permit? A. Show his certificate, understand the conditions and sign. B. Read GI 2.100, operate heavy equipment and sign. C. Read GI 2.100, sign, explain safety precautions. D. Fill the form, explain safety precaution and sign. Answer: A. Show his certificate, understand the conditions and sign. Question: Who is responsible for obtaining all signatures on the permit? A. Issuer. B. Receiver. C. Issuer and receiver. D. Firewatch. Answer: A. Issuer. Question: Work starts before a JSI and hazards analysis checklist is completed. What should the receiver do? A. Complete the joint site inspection during the first break. B. Tell his crew to continue while he completes the work permit. C. Stop work immediately and inform the issuer. Answer: C. Stop work immediately and inform the issuer. Question: What does the issuer, receiver, assume when he signed the permit? A. The agreed to break times. B. Joint responsibility for the safety at the worksite. C. Non-disclosure of the details of the work. Answer: B. Joint responsibility for the safety at the worksite. Question: What information does the duration box on the permit give the receiver? A. When he can start and stop work. B. How long the entire job will take to finish. C. How many workers are allowed on the job. D. For how long the permit can be extended. Answer A. When he can start and stop work. Question. Who can the receiver leave the worksite? A. At the end of his work. B. When the work is complete. C. When another certified receiver is left in charge and the issuer agrees. Answer C. When another certified receiver is left in charge and the issuer agrees. Question. What must the receiver do before he leaves the job site after the issuer gives him permission? A. Perform a JSI with the issuer. B. Close the permit and open a new permit with the new issuer. C. Hand over supervisor control to another certified receiver. Answer C. Hand over supervisor control to another certified receiver. Question. When is a joint site inspection performed? A. Before starting work. B. After the permit issued. C. While the work is being performed. Answer A. Before starting work. Question. What does the issuer identify in Section 2 of the work permit? A. The gas testing results. B. All hazards and precaution for the work. C. The required countersignatures in the work permit. Answer B. All hazards and precaution for the work. Question. Why does the issuer ask the receiver what tools and equipment he will use? A. To ensure the receiver is properly trained. B. To complete the security pass. C. To identify hazards and precautions. Answer C. To identify hazards and precautions. Question. When are joint site inspections mandatory? A. For all hot, release and entry permits. B. Before issuing any work permit. C. When safety equipment is required. D. When the receiver decides that they are. Answer B. Before issuing any work permit. Question. Why does the issuer ask the receiver for the scope of work and equipment used? A. So both can agree to the precautions on the permit. B. To ensure tools and equipment are not stolen. C. To make sure the receiver is certified to use the equipment. Answer A. So both can agree to the precautions on the permit. Question. What should you do if you discover a crane inspection sticker is not valid? A. See if it is within the 15-day inspection grace period. B. The issuer performs a visual inspection and determines if it is safe to use. C. Do not issue the permit. Answer C. Do not issue the permit. Question. A receiver does not understand a precaution on a work permit. What should he do? A. Instruct his work crew to begin while he gets clarification. B. Contact Loss Prevention Department for clarification. C. Ask the issuer to explain. Answer. C. Ask the issuer to explain. Question. What is the main purpose of the site inspection? A. To identify how many men are on the job. B. To check site safety after work starts. C. To identify hazards and define precautions. D. To check certificates and respirators. Answer. C. To identify hazards and define precautions. Question. What is a person called who must stay at the work site for a special purpose? A. Entrant. B. Certified issuer. C. Standby man. D. Gas tester. Answer. C. Standby man. Question. What information must the receiver provide? A. Gas test certificate and work permit receiver certificate. B. Scope of work and tools and equipment used. C. National ID number or ICAMA number, Aramco ID number. Answer. B. Scope of work and tools and equipment used. Question. For spray painting inside a confined space, Section 2 indicates respiratory equipment it needed but none is available. What should the issuer, receiver, do? A. Open the permit and someone to get. B. Cancel the work. C. Do not sign the hazard analysis checklist and do not allow work to begin. Answer. C. Do not sign the hazard analysis checklist and do not allow work to begin. Question. When is a work permit considered renewed? A. When the permit is closed. B. When the issuer and receiver review the permit and sign. C. When the gas tester signs the permit. Answer. B. When the issuer and receiver review the permit and sign. Question. How does a receiver get a hot work permit renewed? A. Tells the issuer and both must sign the permit. B. He signed the permit and tells the issuer later. C. Tells his supervisor and continues working. D. It is renewed at the restricted access office. Answer. A. Tells the issuer and both must sign the permit. Question. When must the receiver stop work? A. Within 1 hour before shift change. B. When he finds an unsafe condition. C. When the receiver is available. D. When hot tapping is required. Answer. B. When he finds an unsafe condition. Question. The requirement to wear a respirator and have a fire extinguisher at the work site is examples of what? A. Precautions that must be taken for all type of work. B. Decision the receiver must make by himself. C. Conditions for all confined space entry work. D. Precautions the issuer would state on the work permit. Answer. D. Precautions the issuer would state on the work permit. Question. The receiver must leave the job site and has received the issuer's permission. What must he do before he leaves? A. Give the permit to the issuer until he returns. B. Close the permit, but keep the men working. C. Give the permit to a certified craftsman, another receiver, until he returns. D. Keep the permit with him, but tell a coworker. Answer: C. Give the permit to a certified craftsman, another receiver, until he returns. Question: what must the receiver do with the permit before starting work? A. Leave the permit with the issuer or his supervisor. B. Keep the permit in his possession or post it at the job site. C. Post the permit outside the control room. D. Give the work permit to his immediate supervisor. Answer: B. Keep the permit in his possession or post it at the job site. Question: what are 3 responsibilities of the receiver? A. JSI, obtain all signatures, sign the permit. B. JSI, assume sole responsibility for the worksite, sign the permit. C. JSI, supervise the worksite, sign the permit. Answer: C. JSI, supervise the worksite, sign the permit. Question: what is the receiver's most responsibility? A. Checking issuers' certificates and ID cards. B. Providing live fire training for his workers. C. Making sure that workers get lunch breaks. D. Following precautions written on the permit. Answer: D. Following precautions written on the permit. Question: why must the receiver understand and comply with all of the safety precautions on the permit? A. So he won't get into trouble with his supervisor. B. To reduce the chances an unsafe condition develops. C. To comply with loss prevention audit. Answer: B. To reduce the chances an unsafe condition develops. Question: what is the most important reason the receiver must stay at the worksite? A. To provide supervision and maintain safe conditions. B. To document man-hours worked and order materials. C. To be available if his supervisor needs information. D. To provide relief when other workers leave. Answer: A. To provide supervision and maintain safe conditions. Question: who ensures work crews follow precautions listed on the work permit? A. Issuer. B. Receiver. C. Issuer and receiver. D. Firewatch. Answer: B. Receiver. Question: the signed work permit indicates a CBA should be worn. After starting work, the receiver does not think a CBA is needed. What should he do? A. Cross a CBA out on the permit. B. Inform his supervisor and document on the permit. C. Stop work and discuss with the issuer. Answer: C. Stop work and discuss with the issuer. Question: what is a responsibility unique to the issuer, not the receiver? A. Obtain countersignatures from nearby affected area. B. Remain at the facility until the work permit is closed. C. Perform a JSI. Answer: A. Obtain countersignatures from nearby affected area.